us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. Nine minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday morning here on KSJE, November 28th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Michlin, and thank you for tuning in this morning. Special welcome to our viewers who are watching us live from our visual radio studio on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Coming up in just a moment, my guest on the program today, Dr. Eugene Schmidt, is standing by. He is superintendent, of course, from the Farmington Municipal School District. We have lots of topics to cover today, so stay tuned for that. More in just a moment. Later on this hour, as we do every Wednesday, we'll take a trip to the Encouragement Lab, and that is where communications professor Dr. Mike Haddabaugh is standing by this week. Dr. Haddabaugh's message for us is to be a disruptor with gratitude, and he'll explain what that means coming up this morning around 8:55. At 9 a.m., it's Roving with the Arts with Mick Hess. Today, Mick is playing music from Bartók. It is going to be Bartók's piano concertos on the air at 9 this morning on KSJE. A special 90-minute Roving with the Arts, of course, because then at 10:30, it's our local and regional author program right on Four Corners. Tracy Helsvass is talking to this author. This is Bryn Kalenda. He's written a number of military thrillers that Tracy will be talking with him about. And those of you who are watching, you can see them on your screen. One of them, Homeland Burning, Cheetah Quest, and many more. She'll be talking with him about all of his books and more coming up today at 10:30 right here on KSJE. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that. But let me get back to my guest who is here with us this morning. Dr. Eugene Schmidt is here, Superintendent of Schools from the Farmington School District. Dr. Schmidt, good morning.
Good morning, Scott, and good morning, Four Corner community.
Good to have you with us this morning. And I want to start out by talking about one of your students who is getting a lot of media play and a lot of attention, and deservedly so, and that is Chevelle Shepard from Farmington High School, who is now one of the top 10 contestants on The Voice.
Yes, we're very proud of our young lady, Chevelle, and I will confess, Scott, that I had not been a Voice watcher till this year. And,
well, I can see why, right? Yeah, that you would want to watch it this year.
Yeah, Wendy and I have become very faithful followers and voters as well for this young lady.
You've got the app and you're voting every week, like a dutiful fan would be. But how exciting to see one of your students doing so well on this national competition. It is a competition.
Yes, literally this national stage presents herself and the community of Farmington in just a stellar fashion. And I think what we all take pride for Chevelle is, and you described it moments before we went on air, and that's stage presence. The confidence that she exudes, her ability to communicate through her voice is just a remarkable story for a Farmington person.
Right, and again, we'll be talking with her again tomorrow morning, actually, during the program, about her advancement now on the program into the top 10. And I do want to ask you, though, that her education continues, though, right? And that's part of the deal, I guess, with NBC, is that she has to, because she's underage, she's only 16, she has to continue her studies, even though she's now in California.
Yes, it presents a whole new image as to what education could look like. The fact that even though she is out of town, she continues to be educated, and we're very proud of what she has done. And if I can jump to a couple of other quick thoughts.
Yes.
Things that I think impress us about this person and her confidence at such a young age is certainly a wonderful voice, but her ability to capture ballads through songs. As my wife and I, we watch these things, we marvel at, Get Me to the Little White Church, her song Grandpa that she sang some weeks ago, and The Soldier Coming Home, just songs that appeal to Americana. And so great choices in her song selection, great costuming, and just this ability to become part of everybody's family across America. I will share that even my mom back in the state of Washington is a fan of this, so she has fans everywhere that she has captured their admiration through her ability to tell stories in her song. So good for her family. Wonderful story for the community of Farmington.
Indeed. And again, she has to have those fans everywhere in order to keep advancing as she does. And so she's winning them over week by week. So
Yes.
it's fun to see.
And so that's another part of just the whole social media world.
Right.
How big that fan following is, because, you know, everybody has Facebook friends and people say, is this person really from your town? Is person really in your school? And,
Right.
And so the fan connections that you say, well, go back and vote. You know, here's how you vote. Go back and vote and help this person advance to the next level. But we're very excited that she has made the Big Ten, and have great expectation that she will continue to survive the winnowing process over the next months.
Right. It can be pretty brutal, I know, but that is the competition, I suppose, and that's what she signed up for. But we're very excited for her and for Farmington Schools, of course, and she is a great ambassador of the community, so
Yes.
it's great to see her. But we want to talk about some other things this morning with you, and some of the things that are happening with Farmington Schools, some partnerships that you are making with the city of Farmington and some other businesses in the community, and what that means, I think, for your students, because that's really what it's all about, right?
Yes, yeah, there's really some wonderful things going on, and certainly the city of Farmington, we've talked a little bit about that before, but two things that are going on I think are just stellar. Certainly our partnership with the Public Works Department. And they're just a wonderful bunch of people within that department that are really trying to reach out to the school district in partnerships for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM activities.
Right.
And so we're talking with the city Public Works Department about how can we partner on a number of different activities. If kids are interested, for example, in water erosion or irrigation or conservation and habitat, or even just trying to understand how recycling works. You know, the Public Works Department has stepped up and said, we will help you connect with experts from the city to help you understand. And so whether it be some future activity for science fair or just a class wanting to have a guest expert come in and talk about the importance of recycling, conservation, how we can zero-scape, all of those things are available to us. And so we really do appreciate the Public Works Department.
And we're showing, for our viewers who are watching us this morning, you brought in some photos and graphics, a little bit of a meeting
Yes.
that it looks like to me, with some folks from the city about this type of thing. And I assume this means some type of maybe internship or job shadowing opportunity for your students. Is that the idea?
Yeah, we're looking for a whole bunch of different activities, and people, as you look across, will see Paul and Tony and Dan, and certainly Dave Daly, who is from us, and Mike Isaacson, who's a school board member. And Mike is an engineer by trade, and he has helped connect us with the Public Works. But these people really are interested in partnering with the school. So students, teachers, parents, if you have these kinds of interests and you want to support the school, we always look for partners. And so we thank the Public Works Department for being there for us.
Very nice. Okay. And so that is one thing that you are doing, but there's some more as well, because there's a business, financial business, that you are working with as well for some other opportunities.
Yeah, this is really a fun story. Think of spending frenzy. We have an activity that takes place at Rosanante High School once a year, in which local businesses partner in really a day of learning for our kids. And it's financial literacy, originally created by First Financial, but we have since grown to a whole bunch of partners that have helped us. Safeways, and I'll explain how these all work together.
Sure.
But Safeways, ZM Ford, we have Target, we have CEU Financial, we have State Farm. The whole gym is set up as kind of a little mini city. And as students walk in the spending frenzy moment, they're given a packet of $30,000.
Okay.
And with that $30,000,
Not real $30,000,
Yeah, not
right?
real.
We're talking monopoly money or something to that
that's
effect,
correct.
right? Okay.
But the task is to figure out how to build a budget for an entire year.
Okay.
And
On $30,000, that's a challenge.
$30,000,
Yeah,
yes.
that can be a challenge.
And it's really illuminating, because as I'm watching this activity, you have to get some kind of transportation, get a house, maybe have some kind of investments, take care of your food, just things that we would normally do in the course of the year.
Right.
And so it is with some illumination that a student will walk in and immediately buy an expensive car.
Right.
Not thinking that, I got to make house payments.
Right.
Or I've got to buy food or something to drink over the course, or even buy insurance.
Right.
And in the real world, the student has to go back and sell the car back, trade it in, and get the loss of having taken it off the lot. And
sure.
Just the life lessons that one learns through spending money, and just how kids come back and say, you know what, I've got to rethink the budget as I get ready to graduate. So it's a great lesson, and we thank all of our partners, again, Safeway, Target, Zoom Forward,
right.
and for just helping our kids understand the importance of building a budget.
Exactly. Well, and I can see that would be something that maybe they haven't had to do yet, and so it's important to be able to consider all these different expenses that one would have in a household, if you haven't had to do that before. Another partner that you're working with is the UNM, University of New Mexico, right?
Yes, and this is a late-breaking thing that we're very excited to be sharing, is with the changeover in new university presidents, we have made an outreach to the Senate faculty president, and her name is Pamela Pyle, and she and the Senate faculty have decided that they would make Farmington their project. And by their project, they're looking for ways that they can connect with us in helping grow our teacher expertise. In this particular case, we are trying to understand how we can get teachers with multiple endorsements or cross certifications.
Right. As
an example, wouldn't it be interesting if a math teacher could also teach programming or robotics? What if your welding teacher could teach welding English? And so we're looking for ways that we can...
Now, I would take that class, welding English, Dr. Schmidt.
Well,
Two separate classes.
I need to take your communications. But what we're looking for are ways that teachers' expertise can be shared across multiple disciplines, and also ways that we can get teachers to connect the world of work to what they do as part of their regular curriculum. Certainly we are all teaching to the Common Core standards,
right.
But I think that we also have an opportunity to engage kids in the world of work. As such, Public Works Department is trying to find
right.
ways to move into the school. But we think that with cross certifications, teachers can, in the course of the day, work more to meet needs of kids than the old traditional view of school. I'm the teacher, you come to me. I think in the new world, I'm the student, you come to me. And so we'll be looking for ways that teachers can enhance their professional, I'll call it, palette,
right.
by having a variety of expertise or certifications that allow kids to, in our hope, connect to the real world of work. And in that process, it's no longer just about graduating, it's about how prepared are they for what happens after graduation. So new kind of thinking, and University of New Mexico has said we're interested in being part of that story. So that's a stay tuned kind of thing.
Okay, but the conversations are starting, and this idea would be that teachers could take advantage of this training or these classes over the summer or in some online capacity from UNM or other institutions, I suppose.
Yeah, great plan is that they're in the process of visualizing what it might look like as a summer camp, or, as you say, some kind of online that people could take in the course of the year. So we're very excited about this as a partnership, and one day we'll come back and again revisit all the things that San Juan College does for us, because they are great partners as well.
Sure, and that's a good point because of the alternative licensure and some of the other programs that are happening up here for teachers, right? And Country Club Elementary is on our list to talk about today too, because that is a construction project that has been on the table, off the table, bid, rebid, and how are the numbers looking? And you brought them with you.
Yes, just as you say that we earlier in the year had asked for bids to remodel Country Club. The bids came in higher than what we expected at that time. We had set aside $4 million. The bids came in about 6.5. We went back, Ted Lazowitz and I went back to the state and asked for additional support, because the state does match when a project is considered needy. and country club fell within that needy parameter. So the state has come up with an additional match that allows us to move up to that $6.5 million. And so now we'll be going out to bid in early January in the hopes that prices haven't gone up again.
Right. Understood.
But in this particular case, we have positioned ourselves so if it does, there are alternatives. Maybe it's a lesser brand of carpet, or maybe it's recycling of cabinetry or something, but we've positioned ourselves, and so if the bid does come in higher, we can proceed with that renovation, because we're very interested in doing that remodel as much as we can over the summer. It will take place over about 3 phases, which would finish by December of 2020.
Okay.
But the important thing is that the district really is committed to upgrading facilities, as we see at Farmington High, as we saw at the recent renovation of McCormick. It is country club's turn, and someday Heights Middle School folks, your turn is coming.
Hang in there, yeah.
It
but
might be 2021, but
right.
Your turn's coming. But we're very excited about the opportunity to give country club some attention.
Sure. And for folks who are watching us this morning, Dr. Schmidt, we've got a graphic up that shows the breakdown of the cost, basically. Yes. And so from that $6.5 million, the district really is on the hook for about $2.5 million.
Yes.
It's the state that's going to kick in almost $4 million to help pay for the entirety of the project.
Yeah, and this is an important thing for the community to understand, because the state law changed this past legislative session in a way that is not helpful to Farmington. The current match for our construction projects, the state gives us 65%, and our local tax dollars come up with 35%. Over the next 4 years, that will completely flip. And so in this project of about $6.5 million, we would have to come up with the 4. And so as we look at Heights Middle School as a rebuild or remodel, it's going to be a lot more expensive for our local taxpayers because of the change in the law. So I would say that we're going to try and fast forward as many renovations and upgrades as we can between now and 2021, when this new law comes into effect.
Okay. And the thought process behind that change was just a bigger school district should be able to afford more percentage of the project, or I'm trying to remember what the discussion was about that change.
And that's exactly right. It was the sponsors of the bill share the belief that more well-to-do communities should be able to better afford their own improvements.
I see.
And apparently that struck the attention of enough legislators and the governor that was passed. And as an example, the district, our local taxpayers, completely paid for the upgrade of McCormick Elementary. It's about a $9 million project. And we fully funded that our own, because McCormick had been on the needy list. And when we announced that we're going to make the improvements, it fell off the list.
Right.
And so we funded that project completely at local taxpayer expense. And again, the exciting part of that, though, is that local contractors are doing the work. In the McCormick case, it was Sillison, which is a well-known company locally. And certainly Jane's Company Corporation is well-known locally. But all of these renovations, we do try to shop local when we can. So there's even though we're using tax dollars, we're trying to reinvest it through our own people in the community.
Very good point. My guest this morning, Dr. Eugene Schmidt, is here. He is the superintendent of schools with the Farmington School District. And Dr. Schmidt, we're going to take a short break. There's lots more to talk about on our list of things to talk about this morning. So when we come back, more with my guest in just a moment right here on KSJE. The time right now is coming up on 8:28. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-59